Hi. Before 2014, for me, well, everything was fine. I thought of as a child still. My life was quite simple and routineful. I got out to school, my dad came to pick me up, I went to my house, and there I did anything. Playing video games, playing soccer, watching videos, everything except studying. The truth, I did not care about notes, nor my parents. They only punished me when they had an interview and saw my notes. Although with luck, I never repeat the course. I did not have any major problems. I really consider myself a happy child. I had myself, I had my family, my friends, and a nice little dog. But as everything in life does not last forever, the adolescence knocks on my door. It didn't come alone. It never comes alone at all. It became very campaign, and since then, it hasn't been so easy. Everything turning in 180 degrees. I didn't even notice, and I went into this process, and it seems that everything I knew was falling apart. Things around me, my family, my friends, the school, subjects, and my inner world. My mind started to change, and all this brought many repercussions. Little by little, I was filled with questions, new feelings, new concerns, and a long list of new things that I didn't understand. At the first, it seems harmless, but the truth is that if it's not taken well from the beginning, it can turn into a dark corridor full of insecurities. Above all, if it knocks on your door very campaigned. But for something I'm here, I want to help you as I had to help myself. But let's get in context. So, what is adolescence? Adolescence is defined as a physical, psychological, social, and sexual process of a person in which is in the transition from a child to an
autonomous adult. This journey has as its most important points the differentiation, the responsibility, values, and social integration.
The differentiation refers to the person's desire just to be themselves and leave behind the past when they just did and thought what the parents told them. The responsibility refers to the fact that the teenager is conscious and consistent with the decisions he takes. The values are the principles that govern the teenager. And the social integration is a dynamic process that unifies one person to another group of people. So far, everything is good. There is not a big problem, but everything gets worse if we add to this. Problems such as bad parents, toxic relationships, addiction without substances like cell phones or video games, or insecurities.
Several of these factors can turn from adolescence from a simple path to walking on a tightrope, which is no longer easy to cross, and above all, the most complicated, depression. Also, adding risk of the environment, such as premature sex, drugs, among other things.
Unfortunately, all this doesn't play in favor, but not all is lost. We will talk about how to help you. For now, let's continue with the analogy.
Because if the teenager falls from the rope, he can make extreme decisions such as suicide, addiction, crisis, etc. This will happen if there is no support network, where it is parents, friends, couple, etc. This should work like this, but it doesn't always work like this. Many times, parents leave the adolescent aside and without a support network. Instead, they repress the adolescent and kick him out for fear.
Sometimes, this can be worse for biological factors such as hormones or neurotransmitters. Some psychologists define this stage as a time in which passions, feelings, and sufferings are exalted, or a sea of doubts and contradictions, among other things. But let's get to the point. There are several things that we can do for adolescent success, improve in social, school, psychological, and other fields. Among the most important things at the time of success, there are several things that I want to synthesize in 6 points, in order to help everyone in the way as a simple and adaptable. Without more to say, here we go with the points. Be proactive, not reactive. Reactive people are affected by their social environment. Happiness and mood depends on this. The proactive move in a social environment around their values. things can happen around them, but they learn how to react to this stimuli. How to be it. Make positive decisions that you know that will bring positive things. You should know how to sacrifice more for more, not for less. First things first. You must define your priorities very well, not because of what you like, but because of what you have to do. There is something very valuable called discipline, and it is only doing things even if you don't feel like it. A very important person for me once told me, the motivation is for beginners. And it's true, there is no always motivation, but if you really want to get better at something, you should not stop, even if you don't feel motivated. Do you think that high-performance athletes are always motivated? No, they have only cultivated something very valuable, that's called discipline. It is true, it will not give you instant pleasure. In many facts, many people will be angry with you. They will tell you that you don't have time for them, that you're very busy, but believe me, those people don't know what is discipline, and at the long run, they will help you and attract people like you. Point number 3, win-win. In your relationships, there should not be the win-lose or lose-lose or lose-win, only win-win situations. I mean that there must be a mutualism. Any person whom you're going to relate must understand your priorities and should be able to complement in a team effort in any field. It will not always be like this, but you can decide with whom you relate. Look for the win-win. Point number 4. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Understand. Then to be understood. You must learn to listen to others, then to speak. It is important to keep your words and think a lot of what you're going to say. This will give value to your word. Enough to talk about so much about yourself. When you focus on others, you leave behind your selfishness and you take a step forward. Simply listen. Most of the successful people I know, they listen better than they speak. Point number 5. 1 plus 1 equals 3. This means work as a team. This in adolescence can be very beneficial in many areas. Learn to work with others will improve your productivity, your social integration, as we already talked, establish a useful dialogue. Point number 6. Change your paradigms. Many times, we, adolescents, have many prejudices about us, about others, and about life, which prevent us from moving forward. We must analyze what we are thinking is really what it is, or is based only on 1 or 2 experiences about it. We must open ourselves to new possibilities and know how to identify these paradigms. Falling into them closes many doors and prevents us from finding a world of possibilities. As an extra point, number 7, and I think it's the best tool I can give you in my opinion, which will not only serve you as a teenager, it will serve you your whole life, which is complete by all the other points. Be the best version of yourself. Improve in all possible aspects, whether big or small, like physical, like exercise, feeding, your heart, relationships, your brain, you have to read, study, create, and your soul, you have to be feeling good with yourself. I don't know if you like meditating or something. This will help you to improve everything already mentioned in an easier way. For the end, I wanted to leave what I consider essential, which will give meaning to everything, and let's put it like point number 8. Start with the end in your mind. Having a goal is one of the most important factors in success. You must find what you love and what you're going to dedicate your time to, what friends you want and any project you want in a near and distant future. If you don't know what you like, the only thing I can tell you is that you experiment. You must discover yourself. Know what you like and what you do not like. Once you got it, go for it. I recommend make a mission statement. You have to write in a paper something you want to make and paste it next to your bed. You will have to see it every day, and this will make everything simpler. This will help you to make safer decisions and stop swimming in this sea of doubts and insecurities. Because once a very good friend to me said, If you don't know where you're going, then you are right. Thank you.